Hello students, Mr. Robert Burrell here again, and we're looking at a practical application of three-part harmony. This is the third video in the series. The first one talked about how a chord has three notes in it, the root, the third and the fifth, but if we have a seventh chord, then that seventh chord has four notes, and so we have to leave one out. We always keep the third and the seventh. Then the third note that we add is the root in preference, if we can. If we can't have the root, then we have the fifth. If we can't have the root or the fifth, and the chord is a ninth chord, then we can have the ninth. In this one, I'm going to show you a practical application of how to do this. Here is a simple melody which is loosely based around Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It sounds like this. My first decision to harmonize this is to ask myself what key it is in. We have a key signature here, but we also notice that it ends on an F. The last note is almost always the tonic note of the key, so I'm going to conclude that this is in the key of F. I'm going to put in my chords. I see that this outlines the notes of an F chord, so my first chord is going to be F. These two D notes most probably belong to a B flat. And I'm going to follow that with another F chord. Then we have these series which leads to a cadence. We have in class, of course, been talking about a circle of fifths harmonic progression. To do a circle of fifths, you go backwards. We have F, and five notes above F is C. C in the key of F is a seventh chord. Five notes above C is G, and in the key of F, that is a G minor chord. Five above G minor is D minor. We now have a circle of fifths harmonic progression. I'd say that this could be a C chord or something. It might even be an A minor chord, which is five above D. What might this chord be? I'm going to make it G minor, and I'm going to choose that this one here is going to be our C9 chord. A C9 chord has C, E, G, B flat and D in it, so that melody note will be the ninth note of that chord. Okay, now I choose my second voice. In finale it's called layer 2. If you're working in Sibelius, it's called second voice. I then begin to add in the notes that I need. I already have the root of the chord, so my next most important note is the third, and then the fifth. And then I just keep following this up, harmonizing as I go. Like that. Then this will be B flat chord. Notice that all of my harmonization is underneath the melody, so that there is no, if you have a harmony note higher than the melody, then basically it becomes the melody. Alright, now I need that's G minor, and now I have my C9th chord. I must have the third. I must have the seventh, and that's the ninth, and that's all I can do there. Now I need an A minor chord, so that'll be another E, and an A, then a D minor. This is a G minor seventh. We've got G, we will need the third, which is B flat. I can't have a note higher than the melody, so it'll be lower. And I need the seventh, which is there. Then we have a C chord, and the seventh is a B flat, so we repeat it, and the third is the E, and then we arrive at our final notes. The seventh of the dominant chord resolves to the third, and the leading tone almost always goes to the tonic, except for in a final cadence where it can leap down here to the fifth degree of the scale. What does this sound like? And it does sound like we're in church. But imagine that that's a group of clarinets or saxophones or trumpets. That will sound very nice. Is there more that we can do? Well, there is. We can add a suspension. A suspension is when a note, say the C note here, hangs over into the next chord. So if I move this B flat up here like this, right, it's hanging over. And often they're even tied, so I'll tie that one across like that. And then it will resolve and move down. This will give us a real feeling of being in church, this suspended note resolving to a note of the chord. Having done that, I can see another opportunity for a suspension, and that is where I can have this B flat here hang over and resolve to the third. I will need to make that F a tied sound. I could continue doing this and have the A resolve to this G there, but then that would take us away from the seventh, and so we're getting a bit too la-di-da. One other thing that we could do is we could let this E hang on here and then resolve to the D, but that's still getting a bit fussy. The last one that we can do is let this B flat hang on here and then resolve down. The C will need to be tied. This will give us a much nicer sound. Here it is from the beginning. Very church-like. Thank you, students. 3-part harmony. This concludes video 3.